I felt drawn to make a video because I was telling a friend about an experience that changed my life for the better. And so, I don't know, Spirit just moved me to share it with everyone. And I think that, you know, we are in some intense times, very, very intense times. And, you know, there's a lot of people going through dark nights of the soul right now. And if they aren't already, they're about to. So I thought I would share my experience, you know, in hopes that it might help. If I look down at my notes, it's because I'm looking at my notes, because I want to, you know, I want to make sure that I make several points here. So it has been said that you don't really advance spiritually until you've gone through hell. And I think that's really true. You know, when we're in our comfort zone, it doesn't push us to grow. It just doesn't. So I want to share with you my dark night of the soul. Now, I've been through several actually in my life, but this was the most potent one. Probably because I surrendered to the process more in this last one, and this was 2012, than any of the ones before. So, you know, for some people it's a health crisis. For others it's, you know, getting in a major car wreck or having cancer, or, I mean, it depends on you. It can also be heartbreak. So for me, I was in a relationship with who I felt was the love of my life. At least it was that way, you know, on my side of things. But this person cheated on me and broke my heart into billions of tiny pieces. That's exactly how it felt. Billions. And the day that I was told that my worst suspicions were true, I had kind of a breakdown, I guess, really, because I fell into despair. You know, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, all I did was sob. And it felt like a rug had been ripped out from under me, and like I was falling. And in a very literal sense. I mean, it's weird. I don't know why, but like I literally felt myself falling down this dark tunnel. And I don't know. We don't know all the ways in which the Matrix works, but it felt real. So as I'm falling down this tunnel, you know, I'm like, how do I stop this? You know, and I was a fairly psychic kid growing up, and so I felt my guides and angels around me, and as a young child I could even communicate with them, although I ended up losing that ability as I got older. But so I you know, I'm reaching out to my guidance team, and I'm like, guides, angels, where are you? I need your help. Who is going to save me? You know, because I'm falling and falling and falling, and it's like there's no light at the end. There's just darkness. And you know, of course, when you fall that low in your own vibration, they can't reach you. Your guides and angels are at such a high frequency, and you are now so low. They can't reach you. And I knew that. So it wasn't any surprise that I couldn't I couldn't feel them around me. So I finally realized, well, there's only me. I'm it. I have to save me. And as soon as I had that thought, and I knew I could do it, I quit falling. And, and then I began to put my life back together. But, just looking at my notes. That experience, everything surrounding that experience and that heartbreak, it's like I had all of my patterns, all the dysfunctional patterns that I was raised with, they were all in my face. It was like when you're in that kind of pain, that deep, deep pain like that, you surrender. When you surrender, you're just like, I will do anything to feel better again, And so when I had all of my codependency and dysfunctional patterns in front of my face, it was like, okay, let's get this figured out. Why do I have these patterns? Where did they come from? How do I heal them? And it was because I fully surrendered to the process that I feel like I did so well. I mean, I grew enormously. There was enormous spiritual growth at this time because I was completely surrendering to this, and doing this deep inner work. And, I learned how to love myself more than I ever had. I learned to put myself first and put the oxygen mask on me first, as they say. I let the relationship completely fall apart because without me putting all this massive energy into it, there was no relationship. The other person was just, feeding off of me, really. So, here's the thing that happened. One day during this whole process of, me learning about my patterns, me trying to heal them, and actually a friend and I even put together a group on Facebook, like this Healing from Codependency little group. And we all did a lot of work together. It was really a good time. It was an amazing time because we were all surrendered to learning as much as we could to heal ourselves. Well, one day I went to the crystal shop and I was drawn to a piece of moldavite. And anyone who knows about moldavite knows that it's a really transformational stone. It's actually tektite. It's actually a glass, but anyway, it's a stone. And the owners of the crystal shop, they said, don't buy this moldavite unless you are ready for deep transformational, growth and experiences. And I was like, okay, well, I feel ready. So I put it in my pouch, in my pocket with my other stones. And what happened next was amazing. I don't even have words, but I will try. For the next week, I was in a total bliss state. I mean, I was one with the universe, one with everything and everyone. it was like what I feel living in 5D will be like. When we get to 5th density, we will just live in this state. You know, and it's also the state that yogis experience and can come to experience every single minute of their life. You can get to a point where you live permanently in this state. It's pure oneness. It's pure bliss. Nothing can get under your skin. Nothing. Nothing bothers you. You don't have a single negative thought. You live completely in the moment, in the present time, and you just are in love with everything and everyone. You see the light in every being that you encounter. You see their true soul. You feel one with them. Like literally there's no separation. Every tree you look at is the most beautiful tree you ever saw. I mean, there's no describing it. And I feel like I had this experience, you know, I call it a gift of grace, because I had done such deep inner work, because I had surrendered so completely, you know, through that experience of deep suffering. And, well, I'll explain that in a minute. So I experienced that for a solid week. And then, you know, I finally had to come back down to reality, and, if you will. And, you know, I haven't been back there since, but I know I could get back there again. I also, it's such indescribable joy and bliss that anyone who's experienced it, you will just spend the rest of your life trying to get back there. You know, there is nothing that can top it. Absolutely nothing. So, what did I want to say about that? Through that process of surrender, I feel like literally what happened was I was broken down so that I could be built back up better. You know, it's like, I can't say that I don't still have ego, but I have less ego. And I can't say that I don't still have fears, but I have fewer fears. And those fears don't have the grip on me that they used to. You know, like it's easily, on the other side of this experience, I mean, I was transformed by this experience. And on the other side of this experience, it's like, oh yeah, that? Okay. No, I'm not going to let that fear have that power over me. No, not going to let it. You know, and then it like blows away with the wind. Like, I don't know how to describe it. I am truly a different person on the other side of that incredible despair, because I surrendered to it, because I wasn't afraid to go through it. I was transformed by it. A lot of people come right up to the edge, you know? They go into despair, they come right up to the edge like that. But then they stop. And maybe they drown their sorrows in alcohol, or, you know, get involved in some addiction. They stop the process. And the reason I wanted to make this video is to say, don't stop. The only way out is through. Because if you stop the process, then you stay in the pain. Even if you manage to shove it into the background, it's still there. The only way out is through. You really need to allow it. Really fully surrender. And when you do, you won't be the same on the other side. It's like if you allow yourself in that moment, you're allowing yourself to be as vulnerable as a person could possibly be. And then when you get put back together, you get put back together with less ego and more wholeness. That's what it is, really. You're stronger, you're more whole than you were before you went through it. That's really all the more I can say about it. We are going through an ascension process, whether anyone fully understands that or not. Humanity is transforming. We are awakening and transforming. We are coming back to wholeness. We're coming back to who we really, truly are. We're busting out of the matrix and coming back to ourselves. And in the process, we'll also retrieve memories. We'll memories of past lifetimes, memories of all the things that our soul has been through. We will retrieve abilities. So psychic abilities will come back. And I look forward to that because, like I said, as a child, I could hear my guidance. I could hear them talk to me. I remember one time when my mother was just falling apart. I don't know, something was going on. I know my grandma was dying at the time of cancer, so my mother was under extreme stress. But she sent me to my room. What I later found out was just so that she could have space, really. She needed space by herself without her children around. But it felt like I was being punished for doing nothing, right? So I'm sent to my room and I'm just like, it's not fair. I didn't do anything, and I could hear my guidance. I could hear one of my guides say to me, no, you didn't do anything wrong. It's okay. You need to give your mother some space. She's going through something very, very difficult. And so she just needs you to give her space. So just spend your time in your room and it'll be okay. But what would I have done in that confusing time? Because my mother was really losing it. Really, really losing it. And there's nothing more confusing to a child than a parent breaking down. So what would I have done during that time without that ability to hear my guidance? That was incredible. So imagine living that way, and some of you already do. I do at times. I'm still able at times to receive messages when I'm not getting in my own way. But imagine how it'll feel when we live that way all the time. And when we live in a state of bliss all the time. We are headed there. We are going there. Believe it. So no matter what you are going through right now, my best advice to you is fully surrender. To any pain you're going through, surrender to it. That might seem scary at the moment. I mean, my goodness. I was falling through a dark tunnel of despair. You want to talk about scary? There was no end in sight. I was falling and falling and falling, and I thought I would never stop falling, and there was no light at the end. That was scary. You better believe it. But as soon as I had the thought that I could save myself, that I was capable, I quit falling. And then eventually there was a light. And the light was so bright, I was in a bliss state. So I'm telling you, hang in there. No matter what you're going through, hang in there and surrender to the process. You'll be amazed at the results. You really will. Much love to all of you. Until the next time I make a video, who knows when that will be. I don't do it often, but I did want to share this with you. Hang in there, everyone. We've got this. I love you.